For me, semen retention used to be about dating, attraction, magnetism, and oh boy does it work. But in this video I have something much more compelling than that. A surprising method that will allow you to create financial freedom for yourself. And I've been super hesitant to share this for reasons that I will get into later. But I'm sticking my hand in the fire for you and say, if you have something to give and you follow this, you will achieve financial freedom. But this only makes sense if we start at the beginning. Because when I started with semen retention, I was occupied with one simple thing, and that was women. Attraction. I was cold approaching and using online dating apps. I was doing everything in between to enjoy this newfound skill maybe, but also the attraction from semen retention, to mobilize it. And even though my values have changed completely, I had a lot of fun doing it. But there comes a moment where together with semen retention, you kind of grow out of it and something else becomes more important, which was purpose, integrity. And the result of that was a very virtuous but very broke man. A lot of integrity but very little money, right? And to be honest with you, this started to really hurt. I felt like I had a lot of skills and I was a good man, but I was completely limited in my movement and expression because I didn't have the thing that magnifies you as a person, which is money. I was done being the virtuous broke man who had purpose and character and energy, but nothing else really. And this happened because I woke up to the reality of life, which was, hey man, you're talking about freedom all the time. How about you get a job because you cannot sustain yourself with this little coaching business of yours? Reality slapped me in the face. And that was my pivotal moment, where I went from women to integrity to, okay, let's get to work. Let's play this game and let's turn this purpose into a business that buys me back my freedom. So I started a creator business. Started using digital leverage, online presence. I learned everything there was to learn, but I was running after money all the time. I had this sort of distance that I felt to money. Money was this heavy object that just couldn't come to me. I had this limiting belief, this thing that stopped me from making money. So you start looking for solutions. And at this point I have to tell you, I'm a very logical man. I like to have my feet on the ground. I don't like superstition. I don't like manifestation. But I stumbled and I fell into the book of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. At the time I was struggling with the abstract nature of manifestation and the fact that it never really seemed to touch reality, but I could barely sustain myself. So I was desperate. I took the routine from Mr. Napoleon Hill and I made it more practical so that for me it didn't feel like I was grasping air and just becoming this sit on a rock and manifest my dream life type of guy. So I simplified it and I committed myself to say, okay, in 3 months, I'm going to be able to live abroad in Lisbon. I wanted to go to Lisbon and have more than enough money to sustain myself. I came up with a number and I followed the practice. With absolute belief, I held on to this routine. 2 months later, I was walking over the boulevard in Lisbon with a sunset beaming on my face and it just hit me. I had completely forgot about the major goal that I had about money. And I realized that I did my first 7K month. At the time, that was insane for me. I was living precisely the image that I practiced with this routine, and I almost forgot about it. I forgot about the weight of money. I forgot about those old limiting beliefs, those patterns holding me back. And listen, the reason I didn't share it with you guys back at the time is because, again, I'm a logical individual and I definitely am not a manifestation type of dude. But since then, I have repeated this over and over and over again. And at the moment getting results that I 2 years ago could never have thought of. So I would be an asshole not to share it with you. And I'll tell you this, after watching this video, not only will you have the method to do this for yourself, but you will also understand exactly how this works. So let's dive into this, and please open your mind because let's be honest, if you have a closed mind, then you will do precisely what you have been doing, so you will get what you have gotten before. You want more. This will help you get there. So you, of course, need an open mind for that. All right, so let's demystify manifestation so that you can actually get what you want. You have two things. There is what you want, which people like to call a vision. They like to call it an objective or a desire. And there is what you give in return. This is the exchange. This is value, right? And here's where it gets all woohoo. All these manifestation gurus, they focus completely on the what you want part. And they fill in 20, 30, 40 minutes with just fluff, with fancy and mysterious anecdotes that just tickle this, ooh, there is a magic pill kind of thing. There's no need to waste your time with empty words. So precisely what is this? Manifestation, what it should be, is normalizing the idea of you having what you want, while at the same time making it a certainty that you will deliver what you give in exchange for what you will get. The relationship with that majestical, huge amount of money that just seems like you don't deserve it, that needs to change. And we will, to the point where it is normalized. The idea of you having it is normalized. Only then can something change. Meanwhile, we completely obsess ourselves and focus on what we will give in exchange, to the point that you forget about how magical that amount of money is. Let me tell you exactly how. Write down these three things. Number one is the exact date on which you will receive what you want and precisely the object that you desire. I strongly advise choosing a simple number of currency, just money. It will make sense in a second. So your first line could look like this. It is the 29th of June and I'm so happy now that I have 30,000 euros in my bank account. An image that you can visualize. Maybe you are on vacation, maybe you're sitting at home, maybe you're at the gym and you check your phone, the exact app where the money is, and you see the number, right? This is as simple and as visual as possible. The second line is what you will give in return. For example, I will render 6 life-changing services to business owners that are looking for love. Whatever your service or product is, right? Absolute clarity, what you will give in return. That's the second line. And the third line is very simple. I will receive further instructions that I will execute with belief. Those are the 3 sentences. You got your piece of paper, then the routine starts. Every morning, right when you wake up, and every evening, right before you go to bed, look at that piece of paper and speak out those 3 sentences 3 times. One after the other. It is the 29th of June. I have 30,000 in my bank account. I'm rendering life-changing services in return, and I will receive further instructions that I will execute with belief. Speak it out 3 times, and then you spend 1 minute just feeling the image. Just being there in the image that you have described, the physical location, the watch you have on your wrist, in the greatest detail, precisely where you are and how it feels now that you have that amount of money. Imagine taking your girl to a restaurant to celebrate it. Imagine taking your boys out for dinner and paying for the first time. Imagine buying the new gym membership with the more fancy stuff where you want to go. Anything that will change, just become that image and enjoy it, man. This should be fun. Like a full minute, be there. And yes, there will be cognitive dissonance in the beginning. The difference between where you are currently and that image that you are repeating. Of course, you are bridging that gap. If this is the image, this is you. Each time you are doing this, emotionally, you get closer to it until there comes a point where for the first time, and it's a very clear moment, you are not intimidated anymore by that amount of money. There is this sort of certainty, this realization, this moment of, I expect it to happen. And that's when you know, and I stick my hand in the fire for it. If you continue working, if you continue the routine, you will have it. It is that simple. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why, but there is a second part to this that speeds everything up. And that's the daily implementation. This is not something that these books will tell you. Any moment in the day, you think of your ex, or you just get this rush of excitement as you get a new record in the gym, or you had a good sparring session. Any moment of emotion, connect it to the image, go there. Build this obsession, this routine of connecting everything, every emotion to that image. each time repeating also what you give in return for it. This is the second part. Your mind is going to be racing with ideas. It's going to consistently tell you new ways to improve your service or product, new ways to get clients, new ways to promote it. Everything is going to come to you. Granted that you do the simple work that's being presented to you, you will receive it. And this isn't voodoo stuff. This is how it works. Did you ever have a very important meeting or an exam early in the morning, and the next morning you wake up 5 minutes before the alarm? I already know that this has happened to you. Did you ever write a thesis or did a massive project that required a lot of you in your job, for example? And did you notice how every single dream and every single shower thought constantly receiving new ideas, as if your spirit is directed in one direction and nothing can come through unless it has something to do with that? Then what does all of this tell us? Very simply, and it's no magic, we become what we think and feel. Your subconscious, however little we understand about it, if point B, the desire, is bound to happen in your mind, then your brain can only present you the roadmap there. It has no other choice to give you precisely what you need to do to get the thing. It isn't magic. It isn't chasing a unicorn, because we cannot fully understand the subconscious mind yet, but this is how it works. It is the process of normalizing the thing that you want, removing that dissonance that you feel, the old patterns, the old beliefs, and completely change the relationship with the object that you want. And at the same time, combine it with an obsession, with a certainty that you will deliver the things that oppose what you will get, which is the value that you provide. But of course, I'm not just gonna dish out a video and see what sticks. I am aware that there is one thing that you need for this, which is you need to know what you will give in return in rough lines, like a most general idea of what you're gonna give in return. If you are sitting at home and you have absolutely no fucking clue what to do, then you need to find direction first. Years ago, the only thing I did was help men find direction. And I built a program for that for a while has been free in my community. Do the program and find direction in your life. Nothing else is going to happen unless you find direction. So take the program and let it guide you there. If you already have a business or you have a business idea, then in rough lines, you know what you will give in return, and you are ready to go through this process, this immersive period where you are going to force the universe, if you will, to present you with what you want. And I say the universe because it presents us with a very ironic, very funny joke that we have to deal with, which is if you want something, which is if you are attached to something that you want, which is always the case, you will not receive it. If you are detached to the thing, then it can come to you. It's the law of detachment. It's very simple. And you're mobilizing that very law. Of course, how does semen retention tie into all of this? Well, sexual energy, which you will be accumulating on semen retention, is desire. It is the very emotion that we are playing with. So it speeds the whole process up 10 times. Just the sheer intensity of emotions that you feel, that raw power gets funneled into this period of manifestation, and the results of that are absolutely ridiculous. If that wasn't enough, on top of that, the willpower that you feel on semen retention as a man will help you execute with such force all the instructions that you will receive. So it is very unfortunate that manifestation has been turned into this chase the unicorn type beat. And yes, imagination, belief, and visualization are necessary principles. And let's be real here. If you have no ability to visualize, or you think that this is too abstract or it's still woo-woo, then I don't know what to tell you, man. It is nothing new, even if you're a logical person like me, that these principles are fundamental imperatives of the journey to greatness. In every single story of someone who achieved greatness, there was always that contribution of visualization, of seeing themselves knock out the opponent in the ring or whatever arena you are active in. So if you truly don't have the ability to open your mind and use your belief and visualization, then I can only say don't limit yourself. Use this and use it without laziness. Go all into this, and then you can get back to me once you hit that date you written down and tell me about how good it feels to actually have the thing that you want. Good luck, and most of all, enjoy, because all of it, it's supposed to be fun. And also, I know that we talked about direction a little bit. If you currently are working a job and you're looking to become an entrepreneur, or you simply have a valuable talent that you want to monetize in this world, I'm talking about finally becoming completely free in how you work, earn, and live. And in this time, we do that with digital leverage. We do that through your own creator business. If you want to do that and want to hit 10K a month, at least within 6 months, together with the other guys in the cohort, we just have 2 spots left now, and we start on the 1st of June. If you want to learn more about this, just click on the link in the description. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.